Hey, what is up guys? So today we are going to be taking a look into the OCG but using a TCG list and showing off the ABC Dragons. And this is a really high tier competitive deck right now in the OCG. It's pretty much this, the DeeDees, and the Blue Eyes. Those are the things that are topping right now in the OCG. But just watch guys how good this deck is, even though it's super countered by this card over here, Unicorn. Just watch this awesome replay. I will also give you guys a deck profile for this deck. But this deck is looking really good. Like, if you guys didn't know, Galaxy Soldier is like almost $50 for a set of those. Like, that is crazy. That shows you guys how high tier and how much potential people think this deck is going to have. And on top of that, it's already been winning in the OCG, so that already gives you guys some explanation. And in the OCG, it's technically even better because, of course, you have Chicken Race Pseudo Space, and, you know, obviously you can throw Union Hanger, so then therefore Chicken Race is not on the board. But all of these cards over here, all the ABC cards, they are so unbalanced. Like, all of them re-add, unless, of course, you have some ability to like banish them. They're just going to re-add, search for free cards. Look, everything is negated right now. He's going to detach them. Even though he doesn't get the effect, he still gets to put them in the graveyard. And then he's just going to go ahead and just summon double ABC Buster Dragon. Just be like, oh, I've got more attack than you. So at that point, you just lose. So that is one replay, but I got a few set of replays for you guys to show you guys a few variety of duels, just dueling against other things. Look at this guy playing Sharks. It doesn't really matter that this guy's playing Sharks. I mean, I know Sharks not so meta. It is Shark Week though, so maybe he was just like, yo, Shark Week, I'm gonna build some Sharks. Hey, I've tried to make Sharks meta. They just can't really compete at all. This is back in the day where I made it like a rank 5 deck. Geyser Shark was actually pretty cool in Dino Mists. But anyways, here we see a slower play, just a Gigant X, search a card, pass. Galaxy Soldier, though, here's the card, guys. This is the card that gives you a free, well, I wouldn't say it's free. I mean, you gotta discard these cards, but then you actually want to banish the cards anyways. And then you summon a ABC Buster Dragon, but you can see, you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna go discard this card. Oh, it's cool, banish it again, and then just go ahead and just bust out another ABC Dragon Buster, and then if anything would go wrong, okay, just banish it, put those 3 cards back on the field, then search a bunch of cards, and then I'm going to go ahead and summon another ABC Dragon Buster, which you guys saw last. So he still got Maxi and Honest, and like, look, this is where I'm like, okay, this deck is looking really strong right now, but just watch how resilient the deck is, even though it's going to be getting just like destroyed and you're going to lose your setup. The problem I have with this deck, that I find it to be like super unbalanced, is that like once you go for the ABC fusion card, you get to put all of them back and then re-bring out the card, and I feel like that's really where I'm like, okay, that's kind of unfair. Maybe if you could special summon like 2 monsters, but special summon all of the materials to get back them and put them on board, block the damage, then research out the cards, and then on top of that make another one. It's just really strong in the game, and a little bit unbalanced. I mean, I think that every meta deck's gonna have unbalanced cards, so to speak, but that's what makes him meta, you know? But nonetheless, he's just gonna go ahead and attack his opponent directly over here, and then he can go ahead and just make an ABC Dragon Buster, and then he can go ahead and just bring everything back, like you guys will see time and time after. So he's gonna destroy this, and that card is gonna be like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and destroy this card, bring back all 3 of my cards. Like, how is this balanced? I don't know, man. I think, and then he searches out Fluffle Dog, he summons the dog, searches out a card, but the card is irrelevant at this point anyways, because he can't attack over any of these, and then all he needs to do is just move him to attack, another ABC. You destroy it, oh, well, you target it, alright, go ahead and bring them all back. And then on top of that, you can add, it's just, every one of these cards has like free effects, and yeah, it's pretty good, as you guys have seen through these replays. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this deck, because like I said, it's getting a lot of hype right now in the TCG. Even though we have different ban lists, I think this deck has a lot of potential, because a lot of times you will be able to throw up like a turn 1 relatively like decent board. Like, I know in certain circumstances, you have bad hands, things happen, right? But nonetheless, just watch out the replays. Again, this is why Galaxy Soldier is so dang expensive now. Like I said, it's like on average like $45, almost $50 for a playset of these. And like this card was like what, $2, right? But anyways, he's just gonna go ahead and just summon that, make an infinity, go ahead and detach, seal that. He's gonna go ahead and banish, summon an ABC, go ahead and destroy that, and then he's just like, nah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just walk all over. There's a 300 life point comeback, pretty good comeback. But thanks to Magical H for sending in these replays. By the way, it definitely shows how good the deck is, because one of you guys sent me the list that came out yesterday for the OCG, and a lot of these have top. You know, these are, I know Asia sometimes has smaller tournaments, but these were tournaments that had a decent amount of players. There were like 90 plus players, and again, I know in OCG they have a lot of card shops is what it comes down to. You know, in TCG we have a lot more YCSs and bigger events essentially than Asia for the most part. They do happen in Asia, but they're just not as common. So that's why sometimes when you see some of these like in a deck list from tournament, there's only like 20 players. It's just a smaller pool of people when they play. But anyways, we got the Cyber Dragon Infinity and ABC Turn 1, and that happens quite often. And look at this guy. This guy's playing Frogs, which if you guys didn't know are going to be kind of meta, I want to say. But this is like definitely meta already. This, if something is topped, you know, multiple times, not just once, I feel like it is a deck that I think players will be taking a look at, and they'll definitely be trying some stuff out. But nonetheless, he's going to go ahead and take 29 to the face. But Union Hanger, man, that card is just too free, man. He's going to go ahead and negate that Burger Stillman card. He's going to go ahead and Regeki. And then he's just going to be like, oh, wait, hold on. Destroy all of these. Watch this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. We're like, oh, bro, you just go ahead and destroy all these? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, let me just add a bunch of cards, special summon this card. Like, his opponent activated Regeki, and he's just going to keep his Infinity because he had that Union monster attached. Then he's going to bring back monsters, search for more cards, activate a Maxi, and his opponent's like, oh my gosh. This was actually a really good play by his opponent. He makes the Sky Cavalry Centura because it can't be destroyed in battle when it has material. That's not going to be a effect that's going to proc. Just not being destroyed in battle is not an effect that activates. So you can't like negate that, so to speak. So he's going to go ahead and activate the Treat Toad, that new card, and then he's going to go ahead and destroy this. This card's going to protect that, but it really doesn't matter. He's going to go ahead and get that card face down. Then he's going to summon another ABC. He's going to destroy that. And then he's going to summon Silver Gadget. And then he's going to go for Gold Gadget. And then he's going to go ahead and make Dank Rebellion. Going to go ahead and half that attack. Make a 101. And like this opponent was just like, dude, I'm done, man. I'm done. I've had enough of this. But seriously, guys, like this deck is looking pretty good in the game. But let's go ahead and do a deck profile of this deck. Now that we've seen it in action, some of you guys, want to see what the deck looks like. So I'll go ahead and give it to you guys. So anyways, let's go and just check it out. We'll kind of make some comments and talk about it. Keep in mind, guys, that this is a TCG deck profile. I don't know why there's Dark Hole in here instead of Regeki, but actually there is a reason. Okay, you know what? I just thought of it. All right, so there's a reason why. We'll get into it in a second. But for the most part, most decks Regeki is better, but I'll explain why this is actually probably, for the most part, you get the same effect. But again, I'll go over that once we get to it. So first off, Galaxy Soldier. This is what made everyone like, what the heck is this? And then Cock-a-Doodle-Doo is like $5 now. It used to be like $1, but anyways, nonetheless, 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier. It just brings out the Cyber Dragon Infinity pretty much. That's what it's usually used out for. But yeah, that's what Galaxy Soldier here is for. And next we've got Double Cock-a-Doodle-Doo. It just counts as a tuner, so it allows you to go into the Ancient Fairy Dragon, which lets you special summon a monster from hand. And again, watch the first replay again if you guys didn't catch that. But yeah, it opens up a little bit more of extensive combo plays. Next up, we have 3 copies of the A-Core. It's triple A and triple ABC. But then we have the Gold Gadget here, because this lets you just special summon a level 4 machine type monster, and then if this is destroyed battle or by card effect, you can add or you can special summon 1 level 4 gadget monster from your deck, except for Gold Gadget. So gold summons silver. So it's just extra monsters to have on board to float. And then we have 3 copies of the Buster Drake, 2 copies of the Silver Gadget, and 3 Crush Wyvern. So it's triple ABC and then double doubles of the gadget in this guy's build. Then we have 2 copies of Honest. And then we have 1 copy of Allied Justice Cycle Reader. During either place, you can discard this card to select and remove from play up to 2 light monsters from your opponent's graveyard. Now, the OCG has been doing this too. A lot of decks actually side deck this card, but if you're going to a tournament and you expect to play a lot of these meta decks, this card can definitely be good. And it can be good against random other things like Light Sworn and stuff like that. It's just kind of a hand trap that you can just go ahead and you can discard this card, and then remove up to play 2 light monsters from your opponent's graveyard. So that really destroys the ABC build, because once you banish these, if they don't have the ability to make one of these relatively fast, this deck can lose. So it's really good against mirror match and maybe randomly against like Light Sworn or just like other things. It could be definitely see some play. Next up, Triple Maxi. I was thinking a effect that could also be good, kind of counter this just a little bit. Yeah, this guy is pretty nasty to run to. And Maxi is also good against Frogs. Frogs are seeing a lot more play. Obviously, we don't have them out yet in the TCG, obviously. I mean, we just got the card announced for the OCG. But I feel like once the Frog stuff comes out, Maxi is going to see even more play because that deck obviously is going to be a problem to deal with. But that deck, you know, it does special summon quite a bit, so you can get a lot of free cards. Next up, we have 3 copies of Transmodify. You just transmodify, you know, just go into just go straight into Galaxy, and then Galaxy, then discard another card, and it's really self-explanatory with this. But yeah, you pretty much go ahead and send one face of monster you control the graveyard, and then it's the same type and attribute, but 1 level higher. So pretty much most of the stuff in the deck, and then you just go into Galaxy Soldier, discard another card, and then go ahead and go for Cyber Dragon Infinity. And then next up, we got the 1 copy of Dark Hole. So let me explain the Dark Hole. At first, I was like, what the heck, Raigekki's way better, right? A lot of people think that. But let me go ahead and explain why it could be better in this. You need to get these cards in the graveyard sometimes, and that can give you access to just jumping them in the graveyard even faster to go off with your play, and then you can, you know, maybe get rid of a card or something like that because you want to go fast. Because this one, it says that it says you can control them, but sometimes it's actually better to have them in the graveyard for certain reasons that, you know, are random, like you need to control like certain monsters. But for the most part, I guess you could technically make the argument that Raigekki can be just as good. But sometimes if you don't have the room to summon certain things, then yeah, you can Dark Hole, then you can go for your cards. But for the most part, I think, like I said, you can argue either way, but this guy decided to go with Dark Hole. But you guys let me know how you feel about that. Do you guys feel like Raigekki's better or Dark Hole in this deck, obviously? And other decks, Raigekki most of the time is probably the better card. Next up, we got the Soul Charge. So this is self-explanatory. With the 1 upstart in the TCG. We got 3 copies of Terraforming because this card is crazy good. In the OCG, you have Chicken Race, Pseudo Space, so you can do even more shenanigans. Then you got 2 copies of Twin Twister, 3 copies of Union Hanger, which just lets you search 1 card, and then it's got another bonus effect that, you know, once per turn, a Flight Machine monster is no more special to target one of those monsters from your deck, and 1 appropriate light machine type Union monster, and then with a different name. And then, but that Union monster can't be special summoned. You can only activate 1 Union Hanger per turn. So you get to get that Union monster. Pretty good stuff. And then we got 1 Treacherous and 1 Vanity's Emptiness. For the extra deck, you got to play triple ABC. You got to play the Ancient Fairy Dragon. Moonlight, you could totally swap it out for Black Rose if you really wanted to. And then we got the Cyber Dragon Infinity combo here. Then we got the Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, Gigant X, Silent Honor Arc. We got Castell, Diamond Direwolf, and then we got the Bujin Tsukiyomi, Abyss Dweller, and Rafflesia. But yeah, that's the deck for you guys. Let me know how you feel about the deck. Do you guys think it's like high tier? I think it's definitely like relatively high tier. I don't know if I want to consider it tier like 0, where like no other deck can compete. Like this ain't no Dragon Ruler status, but I think it's a very, very strong deck. Again, first turn Infinity plus this card is just a big threat that a lot of decks cannot deal with, and especially because again the deck is so resilient. You destroy it, oh bam, I'm gonna banish the cards to bring out the ABC, and then, you know, you're going to do anything to my ABC, I'm going to go ahead and activate its effect, and I'm going to get 3 extra cards, and then search out and get all of the bonus effects. Like, it's dirty. It really is. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the deck. But thanks for watching, and thanks Magical H for setting in the deck profile as well as the replays. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'm signing out.